This is Victor at RestoringMercedes.com. This video is for Steve in Florida. Okay, Steve, so first things first, the Egas module. This is your Egas. As you can see, that's your number here, 129 SL. This is my Egas. It starts with 140, so that's the sedan or coupe, and that's SL only. Throttle bodies here, I still have to put in these bolts because I want to still open covers, and because motors were breaking in, I wanted to open up the covers and blow it all out if there is any kind of carbon dust accumulated. Now this is the driver's side, and you can hear potentiometer making the squealing noise, which is very, very nice because it just slides against the graphite well. This one, both are units actually, left and right. The motor's done and both resoldered on the board. I didn't cut the connectors open because I don't know if I will be able to put them back together after I cut them, so I left them alone. So hopefully your soldering is holding on okay. This unit right here, obviously we have worse situation with connector here. I did put bunch of tape and stuff so wires are not pushed in, because if you pull them out or push them in, equal problems will happen. You push the wires and break them off. This connector is just sort of messed up, but again, if I'm gonna cut it and if I can't put it back together, then it's gonna be a bigger issue, so I'll leave them as they are. Now another thing you want to do is you want to obviously have connector deep enough so you can close the latch. See, this one cannot close because it's not pushed in deep enough. So when you get them back, just push them as far as you can, so these the lips, I don't know if I can catch it on camera here, but see, it has to go up to here to make sure that the connection is well made. I didn't go all the way because it's very difficult to pull them out. They're out of shape, so when you cut them, they're like, now they became thicker, so it's like they don't go in. These are my connectors, as you can see. They're going nice, so they're cut also along seams, but they're compressed so they fit well. So they seem to work just fine after repair, so we should be okay. Before I demonstrate both units, I want to say a few words about Egas. Now the Egas, I drove in this thing for 65 miles or so with this module in the car. It's not designed to be in this vehicle, so the idle fluctuates a little bit when it warms up, because cold start enrichment, I guess, doesn't work properly because it's not made for the S class. It's for the SL. So you see idle fluctuation. I probably will also show it when I'm going to I pause this video for a minute after all and show you that what's going on. Now let's put on the ignition. Oh yeah, one more thing. This is your linkage. I removed it, I cleaned it, and I lubricated it. So when you receive the unit, you'll snap it back on. Throttle linkage was all bent. I made it back so it's like nice and straight again. So that's good. Let's put on the ignition now. And okay, so ignition is on. And now demonstration of operation. So we have both units, of course, energized. They do work very nice. I mean, I really like it. I mean, very, very fluid, very, very light. It's like, as you can see, they keep following. So it's great. Like, you can move the lever and it just follows itself. That's very nice. See, I can just help it and it just closes. This is great. Both motors had problems with brushes, so I did my best on them, but they should be okay. They're not like destroyed or stuck. Took some time to get them down, but it is done. So potentiometers on both sides are okay. Had to be cleaned off, wires resoldered, and so forth. This is a combination with your Egas module and your throttle bodies in the car. what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to start the car just to show you that the engine runs and throttles are still active. Obviously we're gonna have issues with idle because I'm not letting air inside the engine, but at least that will show that throttles do not shut down when engine is running, because sometimes it happens when other computers are at fault. So now the engine is running. As you can see, I do not have ASR light or anything. It will appear if I'm going to move lever and leave it in open position, but I can blip the throttle for a second. As you can see, units, they're still active and work just fine. Now if I'm gonna leave the lever in open position, ASR light will come on because micro switch on the gas pedal isn't pressed. But we can see after I move the lever, there is no ASR light or anything. And of course the RPM is going to be high because I'm not letting air into my cylinders. And I'm going to get ASR light to come on now, just so you see it. So it's very easy because I don't have gas pedal pressed. All I have to do is move the lever and leave it. So that was our limp mode, as you can see, because gas pedal was not pressed and I moved the lever mechanically here manually with my fingers, and now they're off. So once on the vehicle, of course, that's not gonna happen because you're doing it in sequence. Gas pedal switch first, then throttle's open, so that's how it's supposed to be. Then when you let go of the gas pedal, micro switch on the gas pedal is not on, but throttles are already in idle. So let's restart the ignition and see, light goes right out. Throttles are activated again, everything is working. So we're good here. The smell of the exhaust is terrible because of the improper burning of fuel, not enough air. So this is where we stand right now. What I'm gonna do next is I'm going to, oh, you see, that's what I'm talking about. If the connector is not all the way in, see how connection is loose. As a matter of fact, I might have to chance. Actually, no, that's the connection here. You know what? I'm not sure yet, but I think it's not on the throttle side. It's right here where the clutch is disengaging. Oh, that's in the connector. I have to push it all the way to get it to work. You see, when I push it all the way, that's it, no more problems. It's not the wiring, it's the actual, that's what I'm talking about. You have to push it all the way in. So now the throttle works fine, but before the clutch was disengaging because the connection over here was not made well. I'll see, maybe I'll take them in. I'm gonna shave off the connectors a little bit, see what happens. But anyway, the next video I'm going to do is the Egas module test. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause this and I'm gonna connect my throttles so you can actually see your Egas module working my throttles. I'm gonna unplug yours and plug my throttles. These are mine. I'm gonna plug them back in and start the car. Okay, so this is the continuation of this video. Now we have both throttle bodies connected. My original one's connected back to the vehicle. You see, this is what I'm talking about in terms of the latch. See, this latch right here. This is very tight, so it has to be with one finger. It's there. So when you push your connector in, it has to go all the way in. See, all the way, so the latch can close with this snapping sound. So now connector is all the way inside, so all the pins connected to this female part. Now your Egas module is still there. As you can see, that's your Egas module here, a 129 number. This is still my module, and I'm gonna just start it to show you that acceleration and idle is okay. So let's get inside, because this video is pretty much to be done inside the car. So first we start it up. Here's our acceleration, first start, and acceleration. Accelerates just fine. Let's wait for the smog, for the air pump to shut down, the emissions pump. Now, again, this Egas was not made for this car, so sometimes you will see the fluctuation. As you can see, it goes up and down. When it's cold, the engine had been running for a little bit, so when it's cold, fluctuation is a little higher. It fluctuates a little more, especially on cold start. That was red line. As you can see, it just goes up a little bit. So alright, so you have an idea that it does work, and I don't really have problems with Egas module. Like I said, I drove about 65 miles on this very Egas module, and it never shut down on me. It didn't do anything on me, so that was a good, very good long test. So right now we basically can wrap this video up, and units are basically ready to go. I'll take them back into the workshop and see what I'm gonna do with these connectors, because I really hate them. The way they're done, they're like too stiff, they can't go in, the pins are all over, but I'm afraid that if I cut them, they're gonna fall apart, and there will be no way of fixing them after that. So that's not a good scenario. Right now they're holding on, so might as well just leave them and don't even mess with them. But I'll figure this out in a minute. Alright, so this is Victor at restoremercedes.com. Thank you for watching.